Good evening. I paused for a minute because once I hit go live, there was a pop-up on YouTube that kind of like threw me off that I had to read and hit got it or learn more. So that threw me off before I got started. But good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you are watching this and whatever your time zone is. Right now in on the East Coast, it is 9 o'clock or probably 9:01 as I am speaking. So do me this favor. So if you wherever you are, I want you to drop the the state that you're in. How about that? Drop the state that you're in. And yeah, I want you to say hi and say, I am from wherever you are from. So, good evening, everybody. Y'all come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, hey, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Hey, hiya, hiya, hiya. Good evening, happy Wednesday. And I probably put happy Tuesday in my email that I sent out to my list. Forgive me. Sorry. But happy Wednesday. I pray that you all are well. I pray that you're smiling. I pray that you're preparing for bed. I pray that you had a peaceful day. I pray that it's peaceful in your home. Right now, my house is completely quiet. Our kids are put to bed at 8:30. So it is nice, peaceful, and quiet. The only thing that I hear right now is the Yeshua um, video on YouTube, which is like prophetic worship, and I always play that while we sleep. Either I play that or I play some type of worship music while I'm sleeping to keep an atmosphere of worship in my home, an atmosphere of peace in my home. In our home, excuse me. So, good evening. I pray that you all laughed today. I pray that you smiled. If you smiled, put a smile emoji in the comments. I pray that you had a productive day. Huh? I pray that you only gave your time and your efforts to people and experiences that would serve you so that you can be of service to other people. So, good evening. For those of you all who do not know me, my name is Dr. JaNee Mobley. I'm affectionately known as Dr. JaNee. I work with God fearing women who want to take their idea and make money from it, all while working their 9 to 5. So, if that is you, I am your girl. Also, I'm your girl, I'm your woman, I am your coach, all of those things. So, October 14th, I am hosting the Know Your Word conference for those women who are working their 9 to 5 and want to take their idea and make money from it. Um, Now, this is not going to be like your normal conference. This is going to be one of those implementation conferences. It's one of those active mode conferences. It's not one of those things where you're going to be sitting here looking at me and watching me and listening. No, you're going to be doing, like, we're going to be implementing. And that's one of the things that sets apart the events and me as a coach. I'm all about implementation because I understand that the Bible tells us that faith without works is dead. So my goal is for you to meet, to teach you how, and to encourage you and hold you accountable for taking your work and making it meet your faith, which is your belief. We can hope all day long, we can believe all day long, we can pray all day long, which is the amazing thing to do. But in essence, we have to make sure that we take that work and we match our work with our faith. Let the church say amen. So the link is in the description. I would love for you all to join me. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all. I'm excited. Let's say I'm excited. I'm super, super, super excited. Just to kind of give you all an update on the conference and the PR for it. So I am advertising, I am setting up radio interviews, I'm setting up TV show interviews, and even if I don't get them done before the conference, I am building momentum just to market myself and get myself out there. But let's go ahead and get started. So tonight we're going to talk about, all of this is all geared toward helping you to build your business, to take your idea and make money from it, all while you're working your job. And one thing that I understand that is it can be challenging. It can be, let me not say challenging, but it can be a work, right? Is it Marlon? Did I pronounce your name? Is it Marlon? I hope if I pronounced it correct. Hi, Marlon. If I pronounced it correct, put a 1 in the comments or say yes. Hi, thank you for joining me. Please forgive me if I totally butchered your name. Forgive me. So tonight we're going to talk about not rushing the process. Perfect. Great, 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 great. Because I don't want to mispronounce people's names. Because people call me JaNee, JaNee. Not that I'm offended, but I want to pronounce people's names correctly. So welcome. So tonight we're going to talk about not rushing the process. While you all build a business, while you're in building business mode, you also, while you're building a business, you are a person. You are probably a spouse. You are a mom. You're a wife, a mom. You are probably doing a lot of community involvement. So one of the things that I really, really want to teach you all is also to build yourself while you're building your business, because that's one thing that I truly, truly am a firm believer of. I want you to have a successful and productive business, but I want your life to be productive. I want your life to be successful. I want your marriage to be successful. I want your relationship with your children to be a success. What does it profit a man or a woman to gain the whole world? You got all these things. You have this nice car. You can buy your kids and your family whatever you want, but you have lost your soul. You lost who you were, right? So one of the things that I am really, really focused on is teaching people, teaching my clients how to build themselves as they build their business. So tonight we're going to talk about don't rush the process is the title of this live. If you all would take this link and text it to 2 people, I would greatly appreciate it. If you would subscribe to my channel, would be darling for that. So tonight we're going to talk about not rushing the process. So since I love definitions, I looked up the definition of process. And the definition of process means it's a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. Again, I'm going to read that. It says a process is a series of actions. So this is things that we do, right? Good evening. This is a series of actions or steps taken in order to achieve a particular end. So I want you to picture what your particular end is. I want you to think about your product, your service, your business, your idea, and I want you to think about the end of it. What you want the end of it to look like. What do you want the end product to be? What do you want the end result to be? Of course, my prayer is that you want people to buy from you. You want to profit. You want to generate revenue. You want to have, you want to be in multiple, you want to have multiple streams of income as it pertains to your particular brand and your business, right? This is what I'm sure the ultimate result is. But we have to understand that there is a process on this end that it will take to get to the end. It is a series of steps. There are a series of actions that you have to take consistently to produce the result, the money, the revenue, the profit, the customers, the products, the services that you desire. It's going to take a process. So what it looks like is, if this is your end and this is the beginning, there's a process in between, right? There's a process, there are steps, there are actions that you have to take. One of the things that I understand, and I was that entrepreneur, I was so excited. I wanted to get my business started. I was sure that everybody was going to buy. I was sure that everybody was going to say yes, until I got that no. And I was disappointed. But one of the things that I had to understand is that there is a process. There is a process in marketing. In between you marketing your product and getting people to buy, there is a process of who you have to become in order for you to get to the expected end that you desire. So tonight, I want you all to understand this. Don't rush the process. We want the ultimate result. We want all of these amazing things to happen in our business in the time that we want them to happen, in the way that we want them to happen, how we want them to happen. We don't want no hiccups. We don't want no challenges. We don't want no problems. We don't want no issues. But one thing that I understand about a process is necessary. It is necessary to have certain action steps. It is necessary to have certain things that you need to do and who you need to become to achieve your particular result. So I want you all to think about this. Some synonyms for process include development, it includes growth, right? Two synonyms for process are include development and growth. When I hear about development, I think about a community. I want you to think about people, developers, right? They take properties, they take land, they take areas, and they develop them. They may tear them down, and that is a part of the process. They may have to tear down the current infrastructure to rebuild that particular community, to rebuild that particular area, to rebuild that particular city. All of it is inclusive of a process. But here's the thing, right? Um, okay, so we just said that it takes a process to build a community. It also takes a process to build a house. It takes a process to get a passport. It takes a process to buy a house, and it takes a process to grow produce. But let us get back to the development of a community. A developer just cannot come into an area and kick people out of their houses and then tear things down and build it back up. There is a process that they have to go by. There are rules that they have to go by. They have to identify the land laws. They have to look at the infrastructure. They have to assess the neighborhood. They have to see from a business perspective whether even developing that neighborhood would be profitable for them. This is all a part of the process. If we rush the process in that particular instance, that developer can lose a massive amount of money. That developer can lose credibility in their brand. So processes are necessary. Even when we think about that same example, when you think about a developer developing a neighborhood, once they have acquired the land, they purchased the land, they've gone through the processes to acquire the land, they've gone through closing, they've gone through searching for additional investors to help them to uplift and build the community. If they need lending partners and stuff like that, all of that is a process. So when you think about your particular business, understand that it's going to be a process to in order for you to get to that initial end in that product. But you cannot rush it. Here is what rushing looks like. When you rush a process, there are mistakes that can happen. When you rush your process in your business, there is a learning curve that you miss. When you rush the process of growth in your business, there is something that you miss. When you rush the process of growing your business and generating income, you prevent yourself from learning the things that you need to learn. And remember, you're building a business. So ultimately, you are serving a customer and a client. So if you rush the process, you may end up not serving the client to the capacity that you should have served them. If you rush the process, you miss a whole boatload of information. So wherever you are, you can be at the start, you can be at the middle, you can be generating revenue in your business, but understand this, there is still a process that you have to go through, and you don't want to rush it. I want you to think about this. Let's take chickens, because this is like a big thing I'm seeing on the internet. So we're going to take them as an example. So because of greed, and I'm just going to say that because that's literally what it is. Because of greed, farmers are being rushed to produce chickens. When we think about farms, when we think about produce, a lot of these different producers are being rushed to produce a product so that they can acquire more money. Okay? So what's happening is that these animals are being injected produce is being genetically, or well, not genetically altered, but it's being grown in a lab, is being grown in an improper way. So what is the result? What is the result? Well, because they're pumping the chickens and some of these animals with hormones, you walk into a grocery store and a chicken wing is the size of a turkey wing. Can we say that's a whole problem? Because a God in his amazingness knew that it took time for a animal, for a human being. Let's just even think about when women are pregnant. Who wants to rush 9 months of pregnancy? Although it can become uncomfortable for some women. I had an amazing pregnancy, by the way. That's not every. I had amazing pregnancies. Like, all of them were amazing, by the way. Just had to insert that in there, because if you're an expected mom and you're thinking that it's going to be like a terrible pregnancy, don't believe the hype. Don't believe what people say. Don't believe people when they say that you're gonna be throwing up, you're gonna be sick, you're gonna have all these stretch marks, you're gonna be big as a house. With my first son, I lost weight all the way through the second trimester. I went in to my pregnancy probably at a size 16. After I had our son, I was in a size 12. With our daughter, I picked up a little more weight, but it wasn't a whole lot of weight. With our son, and I had all of our children after the age of 30. And I am 40. I am 40 years of age. Glory be to God. Okay. So if we think about even how God created us, there was a process by which we were created. The sperm and the egg had to come together. All of those different steps had to take place. But guess what? It didn't stop there. Then mama had to carry the baby or babies, if there were multiples, in her womb for a period of 40 weeks. Right? It's, I think, full gestation. 40 weeks, 38 at the earliest, because we don't want babies to come before 38 weeks, right? Because because God knew in his infinite wisdom, if a baby is born before 38 weeks, I believe it's technically that baby, and correct me if I'm wrong for people out there in the medical field, because I'm a pharmacist. I am not OB nurse or OB or physician, okay, of any kind, okay? But I believe if a baby is born before like 36 weeks or something like that, the baby is premature. But one of the last organs that develops is the baby's lungs. One of the last organs that develops is the baby's lungs. So imagine being a parent who delivers, a woman who delivers a baby before the lungs are fully developed. Remember, that process hasn't completed. Those action steps, right? Those actions and those steps have not been completed. So this baby is born with underdeveloped lungs. So what are our lungs responsible for doing? Our lungs are responsible for helping us breathe, right? Our lungs and our heart work together. So if you have underdeveloped lungs, what do you think will happen to your respiratory system, which is responsible for helping you to breathe? What do you think happens to your ability to fight off certain respiratory issues? Because one of the great things that God gave us was the ability to cough, because that helps us to cough up mucus, get a lot of bacteria out of our system, and so forth. So if there was a rush in the process of a human being being formed, guess what happens? There are issues that happen. The same thing happens in your business. The same thing happens in your business. Think about when you rush it, there is a certain person. Remember, I focus on while you're building the business, you need to build yourself. So as you're building your business, you are being built. There's a certain level of resilience that is being built. There is a certain level of persistence that is being built. There is a certain level of ethics that is being built. There is information that you have to learn along the way. But if you rush the process, you will miss the education. You'll miss the knowledge. You'll miss the understanding, all while trying to chase a dollar. And one thing I shared last night is that successful people in business succeed because they have built processes. If you're rushing, they built systems, and systems are part of a process. So if you're rushing to your end result, if you're rushing and you're grinding just to make money, you've missed building and nurturing a process so that you can then repeat that all over again. One of the things that have made franchises so successful is that they're able to sell their process to people. Why do you think McDonald's charges so much money, millions of dollars, because that's the company I'm studying right now, millions of dollars to purchase a franchise? Because their franchise has been proven for X amount of years to be successful. But you can't rush the process. One of the things that I understand about entrepreneurship is that if you stay in the game, you're going to build yourself. There's going to be a building that takes place. And the same entrepreneur that you started out as is not the same entrepreneur that you will finish as. You will grow, you will evolve, you will become better if you are not resistant to the process. So I just wanted to drop in real quick and share that with y'all. I hope that this has helped you. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that anytime that I'm on, you will join me. Turn on your notifications because I'm going to be on again tomorrow. I'm on a marathon of going live every day because I'm building toward the Know Your Worth conference that I'm super uber excited about. The link is in the description. I hope that you all join me on October 14th. I'm excited. I appreciate you all. Again, make sure you drop in the comments what state or country you are tuning in from. I appreciate you all. Y'all have an amazing evening, and remember to know your worth. Good night, y'all.